Welcome back. As always, you guys are out there in the world helping business owners take it to the next level through the language of the business, right? Accounting. But more importantly, you've came here for a reason, and that's to increase your closing rate and add more clients and do all the fun things. And that's what landed you here today. And I think it's important that you guys understand it's not an income problem that you're running into. Well, maybe it is. It might be if you're not good at sales, right? It is a sales problem. And I appreciate you coming and watching these videos and increasing your skill. That's the only reason I'm making these, is so that you can have a better life. But it is a sales problem. And the marketplace doesn't pay the best accountant, it pays the best closers. So if you want to win, you need the mindset and the words to go along with it. So a good thing, as you know, watching my videos, grab the pencil and paper and check out Universal Accounting Center. Got it right here on my shirt. Tax, bookkeeping, advisory programs. We'll set you up with coaches afterwards. Check it out. But listen, guys, selling, write this down. Selling is a pro sport. Sales is a skill. And like any pro sport, you need to train it. You need to get in there, whether if it was sprints, hurdles, weightlifting, swimming, endurance training, dribbling, all these things, right? You got to train in it. Well, it's the same things with sales, okay? It's the same thing in sales. So what you need to do is train your word tracks, train your pauses, train your tonality, read the script. So here's a good word track for opening control. Hey, John, quick question before we get started. What made you take the time out of your day to even look into this right now? So why that works is you immediately take control and you shift them to explaining their motivation. Okay, it's simple, but it works. Section 2, you need to write this down. I call this the ruthless mindset. The ruthless winning mindset. Guys, if you're not ruthless, you'll never get results. The double R. If I can be ruthless and relentless, that will get me my results. Call it the triple R if you want. But ruthless, what does that mean? It means you don't let the conversation drift. You're ruthless in your follow-up, your sales strategy, the claim leads strategy, right? And yeah, you need to be referring to your pipeline as claim leads and all of this. You need to talk like a salesperson. The identity of a salesperson with an accountant. You guys make killers, right? It's huge. So ruthless means you don't let the conversation drift. You need to stay in control. So when they ramble, got it. And just so I respect your time, John, let's make sure I understand this clearly. What you do is you redirect without being rude. Okay? And that's huge. The ruthless winning mindset. When they say, I need to think about it, hey, I hear you. Usually when someone says that, it's one of two things. Either it's not the right fit or something's still unclear. Which one is it for you? So what ends up happening is this almost creates a force where they're going to tell the truth. And no chasing, no running down. So you redirect it, right? That's how you have to be. If there's no clarity in the deal, things are going to get cut. Word tracks. We're going to keep rolling, baby. Ownership mindset. The ownership mindset. John, if we don't fix this now, what do you think will happen over the next 6 to 12 months? And what you do right here is you anchor them to the cost of inaction. Okay? And having an anchor is huge. So what does that mean? Like, I need to be able to go in my conversations with people and say, okay, if things go this way, I know I can use this sales tree. I have different options, which I can take them down and use. And anchoring the cost of an action would be one of those. Okay? So, the next thing, frame yourself like a pro. This is everything, okay? The number one reason you don't close deals is you sound like everyone else. Okay? So stop sounding like a service provider and start sounding like an authority figure. If I can speak with conviction, if I can speak with confidence, if I can speak with competence, and I got the answers, and I sell the outcome, and I solve the pain, and I make it emotional, and I show ROI, guys, you're going to close the deals. So here's a weak version. Excuse me. So yeah, I offer bookkeeping and tax services. Let me know if you're interested. That's not good enough. Here's an elite frame for you, okay? So listen, John, based on what you told me, here's what actually is going on in your business. You're dealing with X, which is the problem, which is costing you Y, the impact. What we do is fix that by solution, Z. The goal is simple. We clean this up, we stabilize it, and put you in a position where you actually know your numbers and you keep more money. You got to say it confident, guys. Now that's so much different than, so yeah, I was offer bookkeeping and tax services. I guess just like let me know if you're interested and think about it. You sound like a dork, right? You need to come in like a pro. That's the difference. Authority, close it. So something that I always like to do is get a micro commitment, because what that does is it keeps you in control of the conversation. So one thing that you'll even hear me actually say it in these videos is, does that make sense so far? Or does that make sense? Because that is a good line to get them talking, for a micro commitment, to have more of an understanding for yourself too. Like if they don't understand, it gives you a chance to pivot back and re-explain to provide more clarity, which is what you're looking for. So the next thing is positioning yourself. One thing that I like to always say to people is, look, I'm not the cheapest option and I don't try to be. But if you want this done the right way the first time and actually handled, John, I'm your guy. I can help you. So what I do is I create scarcity plus authority. And that's what you want to do in your deals, right? Look, I'm not the cheapest option, and honestly, I'm not trying to be. But I can tell you this, if you want this done the right way the first time and actually handled by a pro, I can help you. Okay? Write this down. Control the conversation. If I can control the conversation, I don't know, I'll probably get a sale. I'll probably have another client. Hopefully after watching these videos, you're getting up to 10, 20, 30, right? Because you're closing more deals. Got to have the confidence to do the outreach, though. Here's a word track for pain discovery. And this is so good. This is one of my favorites, actually. Hey, John, walk me through what's not working right now. Where do you feel like you're losing the most money or time? What's that costing you monthly, realistically? I need to ask good freaking questions. Not surface questions. I need you digging. I need you to confirm once you dig and expand so you can understand. Alright? Let's go to the next word track. Amplify the pain. I think you know by now I'm huge on pain. Pain drives change. Pain is more painful than fear, which is the best way to explain it. So, if nothing changes, this continues. Yeah. Let it sink in. Okay? And then say, and you're okay with that? What this does is it creates emotional tension, and that's important in your deals. And the next word track, translation to solution. Okay. All right. So here's what I would recommend. It's clean. It's confident. It's no hesitation. Remember, transition to solution. All right, here's what I would recommend. All right, here is what I would recommend. And you just got to go into the kill. That's a lot of the times what I'm hearing is like, you talk so big, you talk so much, you say all these crazy things because you're such a smart bookkeeper and you think you're like doing sales and you got to talk this way. And no, just, all right, so here's what I would recommend. Okay? That's how you transition to solution. Word track, price presentation. So, write this down. Price presentation. Okay. By now, hopefully you paused like 10 times and rewound and went back and wrote it down, all the things I've been saying. Because honestly, this is what's going to make you more money. So, price presentation. It's going to be X to get this handled properly. It's going to be $2,000 to get this handled, John. We'll take care of it. So stop talking. Remember, I've said it in a lot of my videos. Not all the time, but most of the time, silence is power. Okay? So it's important that you understand. It's okay for me to give the number and let them sit there and think for a second. I want to hear what they have to say. Right? So, closing like a professional. Closing like a professional. This part's really important. It's a step that you want to master, is becoming very bold and confident in closing. You want to close like a pro. Think of being in the red zone, right? It's time to score. We're in the red zone. Hit the end zone, as they say. So, close like a pro. This is where most accountants fold. And you guys get soft. You weak up. And yes, I said you weak up. You get weak and you tense up. Okay? You get soft. So, what I need you to do is understand that, guys. Believe in yourself. Right? You've taken all this time. You've put together a good sales script. You've watched many videos. You've even practiced with your friends and family. Heck, you've even closed deals. So just go in there. Look, you believe in yourself. You know you spent the time to get the education so that you can do the tax, the bookkeeping, the advisory. Like, just go in with confidence and you'll be all right. So the direct close. Let's go ahead and get this taken care of so you don't keep dealing with this. Does that sound fair? The assumptive close. Are you wanting to get started with that today, or did you want to schedule it for later this week? Well, either way, we're moving forward. Okay? And the reason I'm saying, did you want to schedule it later for this week, while I'm disarming them, and then later on, probably the next minute or two, I'm going to try and get back in the game, the conversation. Okay? So, word track. Handling hesitation. Hesitation. You can feel hesitation. That's one of the cool things about it. Tonality really gives it away. But anyway, I get that. But help me understand. What's the downside of getting this fixed now? Oh! Hey! What's the downside of getting this fixed now? There are none. Well, you're out $600, but you made $2,000. Oh, I don't know. Right? So, final lock-in. What I like to do when it's getting wishy-washy, and really in any sales game, is I just say, like, if you're at a table, look, John, you walked up for a reason. Let's solve it. You called me for a reason. Let's solve it. I've been doing this for a long time. I can help you. Obviously you're going to explain it in a better way, but that's the core of the idea. Like, you're the expert. You got me on the phone now. Oh, we should probably take, 10 minutes, figure it out. Solve the problem. Okay, so the final lock-in, always when you're in that weird corner, you can just say to them, look, at the end of the day, you reached out for a reason. I'm here to help you solve that problem that you have and get you living the life that you want to have as a business owner. So, I want to write this down, the winner standard. I want you to write this down, the winner standard. Guys, it's important to know that, yeah, you're in the accounting industry, but you're a closer, okay? And elite closers don't rely on luck. You got to get reps. You should put yourself in the fire. You should be drenched in sweat after sales calls, after your phone meetings with the business owner. You got to start doing all of that, okay? Refinement, review. Review the calls, record yourself, refine them, right? Every call you lose is data that we can improve on. So you got to look at it and say, hey, if I'm not, going to hold myself to human excellence and try to improve on every call, like, what's the point of all of this? So get out of your own head, become coachable, coach yourself. You own your own firm. What do? Right? No one can hold you accountable but yourself. Also, you can't hold other people accountable if you can't hold yourself accountable. So get the reps, do the review, apply the refinement. So I just want you to understand, especially you guys are really smart, really educated, the accounting degrees, the tax preparers, the CPAs, advisors, enrolled agents, and many more, right? I just want to say this, that it's not more knowledge that you need. I think you have all the knowledge in the world, and that's why you are who you are. What you need is more control, okay? You need more control, and control comes from a few things. Number one, your mindset. Your mindset is everything. And then your mindset will dictate your structure, and a good mindset and structure will dictate your words. So, if you want more elite word tracks and closing frames and real strategies to get clients, you already know what to do. You need to subscribe, because I'm going to show you how to turn that into real skill, real income. Okay? One thing I needed for you guys to understand is that sales is the way that you view yourself. You're either helping someone or you're selling someone. So you've got the degree, you've got the certifications. Why not you get out there, get on the phone, start closing deals? Hopefully this video helped. I never know. No one ever comments. I'm just joking. I know we're reaching people, and it's awesome. You guys send me a lot of great emails. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.